Okay, here we go. The Pen and Mikey Show.
He's about to get crazy and wild. Stay for a while. Don't touch your radio dial.
Pen and Mikey Show.
Kicking it back, sports talk. Listen to that and stay tuned for some giggles and laughs. Go.
Remember Deflategate? The NFL spent $20 million and found that it was more probable than not that I was generally aware that someone may have deflated my footballs. You could have just given me the $20 million and I would just told you I fucking did it.
Welcome to the Planet Mikey Show.
You see, that's one of the great charms of being Tom Brady.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. You can think whatever you want. You can marry whomever you want. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And he's not even an asshole. He's a good guy. I like him. You know, and no one's ever come up with anything solid that makes me think that Tom Brady isn't anything but what a good guy would turn out like if everything went his way. Right?
Sure. Seems that way.
Without being an asshole about it. You know, there's a lot of people who get very successfully turned into complete assholes, but not him. I think he should unretire. Because I think he could still win a Super Bowl with his knowledge and his skills and his 7-year-old body.
Wouldn't surprise me.
George Blanda did it. When he won the Super Bowl.
And he was just kicking at that point.
Yes, that's right. But, you know, at that point, you know, if you can do more than kick, you should be in porn movies. It's Bill Smith over there.
Thank you very much.
He's the legend, the quintessential Boston production legend at numerous radio stations.
Former legend.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, too, he was also an on-air personality of great note. And he worked with some of the most classic legends of Boston radio. Like Jerry Williams.
Jerry, yeah.
Did you ever work with Ted Williams?
Ted Williams, in the elevator once. I
Ever work with Wendy Williams?
trying to get out of the building, and the elevator opened up, and there was Ted Williams. All I could think about was my father, and I got all choked up.
yeah.
How are you doing there,
you-
fella?
Dad's like, tell me everything you ever know about Ted Williams. My father he'd walk over from Northeastern. He was like an intern at the Globe, and he'd spend the afternoons watching Ted Williams play 1947 baseball games at Fenway in the sun because they were all day games. Oh, I forgot. Ben Kitchen is over here.
Hey.
That's right. Hi, Ben.
I didn't mean to. I got sidetracked there, on the legendary Bill Smith's resume. Now, the great thing about Ben Kitchen is the amount of paper he saves when he makes his own resume.
Yes.
Every time he prints out a resume, he saves a tree. How you doing?
Ben's a future
Well,
legend.
what did
I don't
any of
know
that
what I'm
mean?
It's fun to do? When you shake hands with somebody, maybe will this camera pick this up on the? For the
Yeah, Hero.
Hi, I'm a lumberjack. No, you got to go like this. I guess it's not that funny. How you guys doing? It's really early in the day for us.
Yeah.
We usually do these podcasts at 5:00 on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Well, now we're doing it at 1:00 because Smitty no longer needs that afternoon nap.
I got fired.
I've got plenty of time.
No, you were only there 29 years. I mean,
That's all.
It's a big deal.
Kind of hoping that if I just make it to December, which would have made it 30 years even. But no, 29, cut short.
Those bastards.
But who else do you know stays at a place for 29 years? That's unbelievable.
It's remarkable. In radio?
Yeah.
Well, that's a tribute to two things. First of all, your staying power. Whatever that is. Secondly, their respect for the work you did. Because if most people in radio, if they don't respect your work, you're gone in 2, 3, 4 years at the most.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. Fickle business.
That's right. I spent a third of my life at WEI, and do they have a going away party for me? If you call locking all the doors when I walked out of the building, is that a party?
Well, it wasn't quite a party. It was more like an event.
We had a going away party for you.
No, you didn't.
Well, about you.
No, you didn't.
He's gone. Hooray.
Just be yourself, Mike.
We're brought to you by, and by the way, I'm going to go back to, I'm going back to Pro Automotive.
What?
If you've got trouble with your car, truck, or
Saw that coming.
SUV, Pro Automotive is who to see. Automotive.
The reason I'm going back,
problem?
No, they took care of the strut problem. The car's riding like a dream, like a limo, like a beautiful cushiony couch I'm driving here with a Grand Marquis.
Was ZZ Top always playing?
Yeah,
That was your strut problem?
I always have a no. That's Bob Seger, but
Shit.
Nice going, Ben. Jesus.
see, he's misnaming his rock legends.
But he's
now.
trying.
I'm going back because my air conditioning. All of a sudden we have hot weather. In the last few days we have hot weather, and it's 78 today or something like that.
Yeah, it's hot.
I realize that my air conditioning isn't working, and I think there's a situation that needs to be rectified there. But the strut is fixed, and it's driving like a dream. Now I got to bring it back in because I want to make sure the air conditioning. Because I pick up people.
Yeah.
One of my jobs,
Victims, you mean?
aside from the cat juggler down at Faneuil Hall, is that I pick up people and let them ride in my Grand Marquis, and they pay for that.
And, if they're in the car,
It's beautiful.
It's got to be comfortable and environmentally friendly.
It's like a couch. They love it back there, but without air conditioning, some of them are going to complain, especially the stinky immigrants that I pick up. Whoa. They complain about everything.
And then you get some people complaining because the wind is coming in. They don't like the window.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cram it. Get out. And the only lady that ever farted in my car, I made her get out. She was like in the back seat, and it somehow wafted its way up to the front nasal membranes of myself.
You'll never notice.
And I said to the lady, I said, "Did you fart?" She goes, "Yes, I did. I'm sorry." And I said, "Get out." Oh, man. And lose some weight.
Oh, that's terrible.
You fat turd. She was a nun.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, she bad. So she got out. She started to get out. She goes, "This isn't right." I said, "Farting in someone's car isn't right. Walk the rest of the way, you fat dog."
It's like having to take a dump when you're at somebody else's house.
Oh, my entire life is a fantasy. Anyway, ProAutomotiveMA.com. They're 199 Oxford Avenue in Dudley, 626 South Main Street, Webster. That's the one I go to. And they're 3 locations.
Yeah.
Now, you only need 3 locations if you have good mechanics and you're busy.
These are ASE certified technicians.
Right. Their third location is 8 Englewood Street in Webster. Go to the website and make an appointment, as I do, whenever there's an issue with any of my 3 cars. Eventually I'm going to be like Jay Leno. I'm going to have like 50 cars.
Have a garage. That's
Except
right.
for all of yours are going to be from the early 2000s. And they're going to be made by Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln.
I am a Ford guy.
With bad air conditioning.
No
I
air
sold
conditioning.
Fords for a year. It was a part-time job for me then because I was just freshly divorced. I had no money. I had a studio apartment in South Boston. I was going out for beers every single night because I was depressed. I had no money, and I had no friends. I had no wife. I had no family. So what did I do? I went to work at Waltham Ford.
What was your best line for convincing someone to buy a car?
Okay, you want to hear what works the best?
Yeah.
If you don't buy this fucking car, I'm going to stomp on your nuts right here in front of everybody in the showroom. And they'd laugh, and I'd go, "No, seriously." But the thing about that business was, and I did, I'm a car. Everybody said, "Oh, car salesman." Well, you know what? I never did the high pressure thing. Yeah. They'd get to the point they looked at the car, they test drove it. I'd say, "So what do you want to do next?" I do real mellow like that, and they liked that. I never said, "What can I do to get you to buy this car today, asshole?"
Did you pull the old, I got to go talk to my boss about this?
No, but if they made an offer, I had to clear it with the boss that it's an okay offer.
Yeah.
And then I'd go into the boss and I'd say, "If you don't let this guy buy this car, I'm going to stomp on your nuts in the showroom." No, they were good. They were good people. Waltham Ford, and then they moved to. They took the whole dealership and they moved it to Ford of Londonderry, New Hampshire. So they're still in business. Anyway, enough about that. Most cars I sold though in 1 month, 23 cars.
Wow.
That's a lot of cars.
Yeah.
So how much money did you make for selling 23 cars?
If you sold a new car, it wasn't that much profit. I want to thank the nice folks at my grandma's coffee cake. Oh. See, what I did was when I got my car fixed, that strut problem I had, I wanted to do something nice for the people that do all the work down at the at Pro Automotive. And so I said, I'm going to send out some coffee cakes from my grandma's, and they'll love that. And they do love it. I said,
Did you contact the Cates
love
family?
The cakes. Yeah. They love them. So that's like a special favor that I did for them because they did a special favor for me. But if you want to do a special favor for somebody, let's say there's somebody you like. More importantly, let's say there's someone who likes you.
What about someone you tolerate?
There you go. Perfect.
Okay.
Send them a My Grandma's Coffee Cake. They come fresh off the assembly line. You get them within a day of their actual being made. And
Oh,
so
they're
they
so moist.
last
Oh, boy.
for like, 10 days still fresh.
Yep.
Beautiful. 1-800-8-GRANDMA is the number to go. Okay, now that we've done the commercial portion of the program, can I say one more thing about commercial account?
What is it?
They used to advertise with, you know about the Halfway Cafe, right?
Yes. Yep.
Dedham, Watertown.
Great
They used to have
place.
other locations.
Yep.
They have these two main locations they've had for years. Not only is it a very special spot for people, because it feels like when you're there, it's like being at home. It's like Cheers.
Great wings. Yep.
Everybody knows your name, and the boneless cafe wings were, without question, my favorite bar food that I've gotten anywhere in my whole life.
Could eat a million of them.
They are so
Yeah.
good that I used to go into the Halfway Cafe and get them every night, and I get a $2 draft beer and sit there and watch the games. Well, that's where I met my wife, at the Halfway Cafe in Watertown. She worked there. She was a young, beautiful blonde server, and I was an old, grizzled goat drinking $2 drafts and eating cafe wings. And we met in 2002. We got married in 2003, and we've been together ever since. And she's the best thing that ever happened to me.
All because of the Halfway Cafe.
Yep. So John Grasso, who's the owner of the Halfway Cafe, he and his partner who passed away some years ago, big boy, Dave Steen, they started the Halfway Cafe. Good food, cheap. And that was their big motto. And
Yes.
it's so good.
I remember that.
So Johnny Grasso, I'm in the Halfway Cafe Hall of Fame. So I pulled out this sweatshirt out of my archives. It says Halfway Cafe Hall of Fame, class of 2007. And he invited me to this, they have this annual get-together for people who were in the Hall of Fame and people who work there. So I went down to this gathering. I saw John Grasso.
When was this?
This was last week.
Okay.
And I'm wearing the thing, and I'm like, it's a nice thing. Without the Halfway Cafe, my two sons wouldn't have been born, right? The whole idea is that there's a reason to be thankful for them. So I said to John, I really missed the half of the boneless cafe wings. And he says, I'm going to send you some of that special sauce. Ooh. He put some of the Halfway Cafe sauce in a big jar and FedExed it to my house. Now I go out and I buy fresh, boneless white meat tenders. Mm. My wife fries them up in it's like being in the Halfway Cafe. It's unbelievable. So I ate like 14 of them in 3 days, honest to God. And I want to thank John Grasso, not just for allowing me to meet my wife there and get married and be happily ever after, but for the big jar thing of sauce. Now I can go out and buy chicken wings and make them at my own house.
You have
Get the special sauce.
The proprietary sauce from the Halfway Cafe is now in your possession.
Yes, well, it's a jar of it. And when I run out, I'm going to call it, hey, John, you got any more of that sauce?
You know what he's going to say.
Click.
First one's free, Mike.
Anyway, he's a good guy. All right, so now I heard on the radio a couple things that bothered me. Do you want to hear what they are?
Yeah.
Because I want to get them out of the way. What do you
Okay,
think?
go ahead.
And invite your comments.
Do it.
Okay, you know about Joe Biden paying and buying votes with the promise to wash away inherited credit that people have for college educations, right? He's buying votes, right? I mean, let's call it what it is. There's no other reason to do it. It adds to the deficit. Taxpayers are paying for it. There's no reason for him to do it unless he's buying votes, right? Yeah. Anybody that has college debt is going to vote for him.
Well, he feels bad for these kids that are stuck with this huge amount
I
of debt.
understand. I'm sure he does.
Yeah. You seen his face? I don't think he's felt a feeling in years.
But he doesn't feel bad for the people who aren't getting that money, who just finished paying off their loans, or who paid them off over the last 15 years, or didn't even go to college and didn't ever get a loan, or the parents of the people who paid for their kids' loan. All of a sudden, he's like, you know what? I got to get elected. How am I going to get the young people to come back and vote for me? Well, I'm going to tell them I'm going to pay for their college debt. It's so simple and so obvious. So he's an asshole, but never mind that.
That's not the only thing he's using to buy votes.
Oh, well, there's other things.
The reclassification of cannabis?
Well, that's another way he's going after the young vote,
one.
but that's a whole different thing. That should have been done 15 years ago, but so he's late to the table on that. But I'm hearing now Massachusetts is talking free community college.
They've been doing this for a little while.
Yeah, but
in-state tuition as well.
and for people, not just for people who don't have any money, but for people who aren't even citizens. It's like, okay, where else can you find to throw your money away, Massachusetts? You're going to just, look, if you're going to make it free for everybody. You really should. Oh, well, no, the rich people don't need. No, okay, but they also maybe don't need to go to community college. Maybe they go to BU for $90,000. The fact is,
and why can't they go to? What if they want to just take one class at a community college?
Yeah.
What's the problem with that?
Yeah.
buying
that be free?
They're buying votes, and it's atrocious behavior. I know there's desperation right now in the Democratic Party because Biden's been such a total fuck up, but. I disagree with the whole concept of buying a vote. You're bribing somebody.
Did you see the other one that came out today about Massachusetts?
No.
Proposing a mansion tax to help pay for affordable housing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's really good. The affordable housing, never mind the $1 billion minimal that they're going to spend on housing people in Massachusetts. That's over and above the budget that was established. Never mind that $1 billion. I heard on the news that the immigrants that have come to this country since Biden took office are costing America $458 billion, which is not only more than the defense budget, but it's $500 billion. It's like, for what? What are you getting out of that? Some happy satisfaction feeling? Oh, look what I did. I let...
they're not going to care.
200,000 Haitians move in.
We print $2 billion of cash per minute. Literally, print it to cover the and we spend what is it, $1,000 a second or something? $1 million a minute. Something. Oh, bullshit.
Anyway, I just had to get that off my chest because now Massachusetts is joining the free community college for certain people who can't afford it,
But not Americans.
Now, remember last week we talked about no hitters.
Yes.
I'm gonna have a swig of this delicious Price Chopper refreshing spring water.
Mike Adams will now take a swig from the jug.
Oh, that's that recycled toilet water from San Francisco.
That's
it's
very
really
good.
That's not lemon.
Anyway, remember we were talking about no-hitters. I forgot to mention the most important no-hitter statistic or factoid.
I was going to remind you of that. I was going to ask you last week, but the show ended.
We talked about Veritek basically having caught 4 no-hitters, which is the all-time record.
I think it's 4 now.
4. It's 4. Yeah, it's 4. He caught 4 no-hitters. Yeah, but we went over that last week. That's not the point. The point is this: the one individual record in the history of the major leagues that will never be broken. Johnny Vandermeer had 2 consecutive no-hitters, and that's the only time that ever happened. But to break that record, you have to pitch 3 no-hitters. There's no one in the major leagues right now that's pitched 3 consecutive complete games.
Or back-to-back perfect games.
What? They weren't perfect games.
No, I know. You're saying the only way to beat it is to have 3 consecutive, and I'm saying, or you could do back-to-back perfect games.
You're
that
right.
would be better than it, too.
But again, back to the problem of no one ever completes a game anymore. Yeah. They take guys out in the 7th when they have no hitters now. You can't do that. Bill Lee said if he ever had no hitter in the 7th inning, you'd have to shoot him with a gun.
Because these guys throw. They don't pitch. They throw. That's all they do. They throw as hard as they can. They throw their breaking stuff as hard as they can. Everything. The arm movements are so terrible that they're throwing out their arms.
They're like machines that are fluctuating and faulted. I remember last week I said I wanted to talk just briefly about squatters.
Yes.
Have you ever had a squatter?
No, not here. No, thank God.
Yeah, I squat to poo.
I knew he was going to go there.
Sorry.
Yeah, he walks his dog too much. He's all about the squat. Squatters are, okay, what would you do?
It amazes me that there isn't a law against that.
Just a specific law.
Yeah.
Now, they say, they get into they sue you if you try to kick them out because I paid an electric bill or whatever they say. Here's the idea. In the old days, someone tries to take over your home, you kill them.
Yeah, true.
Beat him up and kick him out.
You shoot him. You say, what are you doing in my house? Oh, really? Boom. Well, guess what? You're not going to be in my house now. You're dead. So my point is that now the laws are so bent over backwards in favor of, make sure you don't offend anybody. The guy was in my house
it's like bend
with
over
his whole
forward.
family eating my shit, painting on the walls, pooping on the floor, and he's there for a month. I'm on vacation, and now what do? Well, now you got to go to court to get him out. Fuck that. I say you bring in 10 guys.
How is it not It's still breaking and entering.
It
It's
should be.
still trespassing.
Yep.
Right.
How is it not arrestable? That's the problem.
Right, because the burden of proof and all the rights of the people have rights. Well, no, they don't. They're in my house.
Nothing will happen until somebody squats in Maura Healy's house.
Well, right.
Yeah.
That's a whole different
We're
kind
not
of
the
squatting.
problem. It's those fuckers in California.
Unbelievable.
That's where the problem is.
That's one of them. One of the places. There are other places there. But here's what I would do. Okay, if somebody was, let's say I'd gone away and somebody come home, there's like 9 people living in my house from a foreign country, and they smell. I would say, excuse me, but what are you doing here? Oh, what are you doing here, man? This is our house. Whoa.
They
You
speak
go back-
really good English.
You go, you go back with 10 guys, okay? Baseball bats, guns, machetes, 10 guys.
And just line them up outside and say, you get your shit and get out of my house
You
now.
don't even have to hurt anybody if you go in with 10 guys with guns and machetes at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you say, go home.
Yep.
Get off my property, or you're going to really kind of not like your life for the rest of your life. And you should have the right to do that without anyone saying, arrest him for taking back his house, with his friends. It shouldn't be a crime the other way, right?
You should be able to just call the police, and the police, you show them, hey, this is my property. They're not supposed to be there. It's trespassing.
See, once you
That's
get
a
the
criminal
police
offense.
involved on that level, though, now it can go to the courts, and there's all this, no, I want you out now. That's why I'm bringing my 9 best friends and my sharpest machetes and a sledgehammer and,
Sledgehammer.
right.
Of course.
And Dwayne The Rock Johnson. If you go in there with enough power, they're going to leave. They're not going to stick around. What are they going to do? Fight you?
If I was a squatter and I looked out there and saw that, it's time to leave, that would be it. Let's go. No problem.
The very word squatter just shows you what kind of people these are. But it's going on everywhere, and you see the video and stuff on Twitter or whatever. It's like you can't get them out.
And if you
really?
complain, they say that you're the bad guy.
You're a racist.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm sorry that I'm not the same race as the 9 people who broke in and stole my house. I'm sorry, but that doesn't make me racist. That makes them squatters. End of story.
There ought to be a law, and it should be on the books now.
I should make all the laws in this country. I'm a very fair guy.
I hope all those people that have been fucked over by these squatters, it's particularly, I know you said there's other places, but California is the most famous example where this continues to happen.
Yeah.
They should do a class action lawsuit against the government of California.
I would think that'd be a nice way to do it.
Right?
Or go into the legislature, into the office of the town hall, and
No.
squat there. Say, okay, you know what? This is your office, I know, but I'm staying here till you get some sense, asshole. I have other guys I'm pissed at. I told you how the guy stole my. I shouldn't even mention what country they're from. Haiti.
Stole your CDs.
Stole my CDs.
Yep.
So I went I was Lyft driving, and I went and I picked up a lady. It was perfectly nice lady. She didn't speak any English. She gets in the car, and I said, "We're going to Marlboro," and she says, "I know speak." So I said, "Okay." She doesn't speak English. I said, "Okay." So then I thought, well, going to Marlboro. Well, as we're halfway to Marlboro, I said, "Are you from Haiti?" She said, "Yes." She knew how to say that.
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, I know where I'm going now." Hotel Healy, the Healy Day Inn
In Marlboro.
in Marlboro, which has 500 Haitians living there, and of course that's right where I was going. Dropped her off. I guess apparently picked her up at her doctor's appointment, which she didn't pay for, which we paid for, and taken her to the Holiday Inn in Marlboro, which is closed to the public, as I've discussed here on the podcast, and because she's Haitian. I guess what I'm getting at here is that somewhere along the line, somebody has to say, okay, we have too many people that are coming here and we're paying for it. Someone has to just come to the conclusion that it has to stop. It's like a plumber would tell you, you can't clean up the spilled water and the mess until you fix the leak. Mm-hmm. Because it's going to keep leaking.
It seems to me that it's a leadership problem. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Someone to make that decision to
Right.
say, okay, no more.
And let everybody else say, "Oh, you're xenophobic." No, I'm talking common sense here. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
America's a country of immigrants, legal immigrants. Anyway, I want to play a little game with you guys.
Yay, a game.
What kind of a game?
It's a game, and I'm going to see if your brain cells are working.
What kind of a game is it, Mike?
It's a game. You want to hear it?
A quiz?
Yes.
A quiz?
It's a quiz. Old TV shows, dead or alive.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Are they? Just because you're young, don't get pissed at us. It's not your fault you got here late.
All right.
Dead or alive, I'm going to mention someone who was in an old TV series. Tell me what series they were in. Are they dead or alive? And if they're dead, when do they die? And if they're alive, how old are they? Ready?
Jesus.
All right,
It's harder and harder the more you explain.
No problem there, Mike.
Hogan's Heroes.
Dead.
Dead.
1-1.
Unless you're talking about Colonel Klink.
You're talking about Hulk Hogan? He's alive.
How could you let me know what I'm talking about before I talk about it?
Because that's you, Mike.
Hogan.
Okay, the guy who played on Hogan's Heroes, he played Kinchlow, the black guy.
Yeah.
His name was Ivan Dixon.
Ivan Dixon, that's
Dead.
correct.
Dead?
Yeah.
Dead.
He's dead.
Yep.
Died in 2008. He was 76.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, he lived a good life.
I outlived him.
Kinch.
Yep.
Werner Klemperer.
Dead.
Dead.
Colonel Hogan. Do you want to go to the cooler? Werner Klemperer, born in Germany, is dead.
Is dead.
Died in 1994.
2000. How old was he?
68.
80. Oh!
80 years old.
John Banner. Sergeant Schultz.
Dead.
Dead.
Way dead.
Yep.
He died 51 years ago in 1973.
Wow.
How old was he?
71.
52.
63.
Whoa.
Right down the
You
middle
wanna
of
split
that.
the difference?
I see nothing. Now he sees really nothing. All right. How about Corporal LeBeau, Robert Clary?
Alive.
I would say he's alive because he seemed to be a younger guy in that show.
Think so?
Alive.
Well, he's dead. He died. He died in 2022.
Oh, he
But
almost made it.
He was 96.
Oh, well, there you go.
So you're saying he's alive. You're very close. You're within 2 years of him. That little frog, Robert. How about Richard Dawson?
Dead.
Oh, he's definitely alive.
These guys are dead.
Richard Dawson?
I thought he was alive.
Oh, he's been dead for
Everybody
like 20
so
years.
far is dead. And
Really?
When LeBeau died, that was like, okay, Richard Dawson is dead. Wow. He died in
1998.
2012.
2012.
It's close.
How old was he?
79?
Yeah.
Very
I was figuring this guy was pretty old when he was doing Family Feud
Now, Bob Crane.
and sticking his tongue down all the women's throats.
She's not a bad thing.
Bob Crane dead.
Very dead.
Very
and
1976.
78. And he was how old? When he got
44.
bludgeoned to death by his male admirer?
48.
49.
Oh.
Bob Crane. And I've mentioned this, but I did a
You killed Bob Crane?
with a tripod. No, that's how he got hammered to death on the head with a tripod by this guy. They let the guy off, though. 1978, Bob Crane, dead, 49 years old. Oh, I did a telethon with him for cerebral palsy at Channel 30 in Hartford. And it was before 78, obviously.
Clearly.
I think it was like a year or two before that. Bob Crane came to Hartford and did the telethon. And you know who else did that telethon with me? Paul Peterson, who played Jeff on the Donna Reed show.
My dad.
Yes.
Now there was a man.
Right.
Yep.
And She Can't Find Her Keys was another hit record he had. Remember that?
Yeah.
Anyway, he was a great guy. Bob Crane was a little bit stuck up, and he was like all over talking to all the women and stuff like that.
Of course.
So they're all dead. Dead. Every single member of the Hogan's Heroes cast, dead. That's what time in a Stalag will do to you. Make you crazy.
Do you have any more names
Yes.
from? Oh, you do.
Another show. Want
Let's
to do
hear
another
it.
show?
Sure,
One
go
more
ahead.
show.
One more.
Why one more? What if I got two shows?
One more.
You got to go
You
somewhere?
just said one more. 2 to 1.
The Munsters.
Dead. They're all dead.
Oh God, I
They
hated
died
that
in a
show.
fire. It was sad.
I never liked that show.
Fred Gwynn.
Dead.
Dead.
Dead. 1993 at the age of 66.
I think his last role was My Cousin Vinny.
Maybe, or Pet Cemetery. I think my cousin Vinny
My
came out.
Cousin
But
Vinny.
66? That's not that old.
The two.
He was wicked tall.
How tall was he?
Like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", somewhere in there.
Looked humongous in that role.
How about Yvonne DiCarlo?
Dead.
Wicked dead. She died in 07, 17 years ago at the age of 84.
84.
Yeah. Butch Patrick.
Which one was he?
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie Munster.
Eddie with the
Dead.
little...
Alive! We found someone who's alive!
He's 60 years old.
70.
Oh.
Butch Patrick. Not Bill Patrick.
Oh.
My former friend. How about Pat Priest? She played Marilyn, the normal one.
Oh.
Remember the normal one?
She's alive.
She's alive. She's 87.
Wow, good for her.
Al Lewis played Grandpa.
Oh, he's dead.
Dead.
He's
Whoa.
my favorite character.
Died in 06 and at the age of 82. All right, one more show. Come on.
All right.
Happy Days.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, okay. I see.
All right.
Saw something more in my wheelhouse in the 70s
Well,
when I
you were
wasn't
doing
even born
fucking
yet.
shows in the 50s
I
and
wasn't even born
60s.
yet.
I've at least seen reruns of Happy Days.
I wasn't going to be born for 10 years when Happy Days was on.
Tom
That's true.
Bosley.
Don't be mad that I'm
Tom
younger.
Bosley,
Yeah. Tom Bosley.
live?
Dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he died in 2010.
Yeah, he sold those garbage bags, and that's the end of that.
That's right. Someone put one over his head and killed him.
There you go.
Marion Ross.
Alive.
We just talked about her the other day.
Dead.
She's alive. She's 95.
Wow.
I still would. Donnie Most.
We like Donnie Most. I
Donnie
bet he's
Most.
Alive.
Donnie Most.
yeah, he's too ornery to die. He's alive.
He's 70. He's alive.
Yep.
Fonz.
Alive.
Henry Winkler.
He's alive.
He's 78.
Doing commercials.
Erin Moran. Joni.
Ooh.
Alive.
Dead.
Really?
She died in 2017 at the age of 56.
Did she get chachied?
Somebody chotched her. That's a. All right, now just a random couple of guys. Is Barbara Eden still alive?
No.
Yes, she is. She's
she is.
92.
Wow.
And you know, I've made a few wishes about her in my day.
Who didn't?
In a bottle. Dick Van Dyke?
Dead. He recently died.
No, he's 98.
Wow.
I thought he recently died.
Well, you probably wished that when Jerry Van Dyke died because you liked him better. Dick Van Dyke, which is, by the way, we're talking about an
worst
oxymoron
British accent
as a
ever.
name. Dick Van Dyke. I mean, what is that? So he's still alive.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's right. I saw him just come out and do something on I saw it on YouTube, but it was on one of those terrible singing contest
Did you do a
shows.
chimney,
Like
the rooftop thing from Mary Poppins?
No, but he did a different one of his song and actually danced a little bit. And I'm like, holy shit, this old
98.
fucking crypt keeper can move.
Well, he used to fall. Remember the beginning of Pratfall? He did the beginning of the Dick Van Dyke show
Yeah, yeah.
with his footstool where he tripped over the foot. He did all his own stunts.
Yeah.
You know, I do all my own stunts too, but mine aren't very entertaining. You know, like I say, watch this. I throw the remote up in the air and I catch it with my left hand. And I throw it up in the air again and catch it with my right hand. I mean, I do stunts. You know, I make them up too. I choreograph my own stunts.
You're like your own stunt man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's nobody better than me at spitting gum out the window of a car. What I do is I put power window down the right-hand passenger window.
Yeah.
And then I spit the gum, and just a crack. I open the window maybe 2 inches. And then from across in the driver's seat, the person sitting next to me, I go, and I shoot the gum through the crack in their window, and they were like, everybody freaks out. They're amazed. How did you do that? I said, practice.
Yeah.
Dead.
Now, I got to say,
Sorry.
I got to say this about the Hamas people. I hate them. I don't understand what it is in the world that caused people to have to rain down hatred on Jewish people. I love Jewish people. For them, I think in my life, the Jewish people I've met, I've liked 98% of them, and I've loved 25%. Loved 25% of them. Friends of mine. I have a list of my favorite Jewish people. You want to hear it?
Right.
Can I
My
just ask
favorite.
you a question, real quick?
Yeah.
Why did they call it Palestine? I don't think they're pals with any Steins.
I don't think so.
hey.
That's pretty good, huh? They
My-
could call it Palestine.
My favorite Jews with Mike Adams.
All right, in my life,
Do you
just,
have,
just
do you have
quick.
any music ready for this one?
Just quickly, yes. All right, now, in my life, one of my best friends of all time, Ricky Angel, since I was 11 years old,
yeah.
Jewish. Marsha, my first girlfriend. I met her at the temple. I was hanging around Ricky Angel at the temple, at Temple Beth Shalom in
Hanging around with
Manchester,
an
Connecticut.
angel at the temple.
Yeah, and he introduced me to this Marsha girl who was a year older than me, but adorable. And she's my first girlfriend. Okay, My first radio job, the guy that trained me, Jay Diamond, funny bastard.
Jay Diamond.
These people are all Jewish. Bill Pito, my co-host on my Emmy Award-winning TV broadcast.
We talked to Billy on the air.
Bill Pito, Jewish. Howard Green, Maury Levine, okay, Heather Kahn, all from NECN.
Oh, Heather, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful woman. These are all great friends of mine. Charlie Kravitz, who hired me at NECN.
Beautiful person.
Tremendous. The guy who hired me at Channel 3 in Hartford, Mark Efron. Jason Wolf. Julie Kahn. My rep and good friend, Ken Fishkin. Ben Kitchen. Now, I love these Jewish people. Well, Ben, you're
not really Jewish.
You're half Jewish.
Yeah.
Okay, you're half Jewish, so I half like you. But think about in the world of entertainment.
So you combine me and Julian Edelman, you get one Jew.
That's right. It's a combo platter. Jerry Seinfeld. Come on. Judge Judy. I've watched 400 episodes. Robert Kraft, I've known him since he bought the Patriots. He's always been very kind to me. Yep. From a political sense, I like Ben Shapiro, who's Jewish, but I really don't care for George Soros, who's also Jewish. But he's one of the ones I don't care for.
George Soros, and it's funny how you were talking about Hamas earlier. He's the guy that's funding all the protests in America. Right
he's
now.
An asshole.
Yep.
He went off the rails a little bit, but. Some of the great people of all time. My favorite left-handed pitcher in the history of baseball, Sandy Koufax.
Alive.
Love. He is alive. He's got to be 95, right?
He's got to be up there, yeah, but he is still alive. He still looks good.
We were just talking about Bob Dylan. Okay? I love Bob Dylan. There's never been a more thoughtful lyricist in the history of music. Jewish guy. Mel Brooks, funny or what?
Oh.
Could he make a movie?
Say Mel Gibson for a second.
How about The Cure for Polio? Jonas Salk, right? That was helpful, just a little bit. Steven Spielberg, could he make a movie?
Yep.
These are all Jewish people. And by the way, Monica Lewinsky. I'll let that sit.
Monica has talent.
You never know what kind of help you're going to need around the White House, right? You never know. Yeah. So anyway, my point here is I don't understand what Jews have ever done in the world to make people hate them as much as they hate them. But I am dead set against anybody that's anti-Semitic and anybody that's an asshole about it, like these demonstrators. Look, shut the fuck up and get lost, okay? And don't ruin people's graduations and start this whole, here we go again with 2020 with the BLM movement. For what? For what? You're going to argue that the people from Hamas who killed babies and raped women and burned people's grandparents are okay with you? Then go fuck yourself.
I don't understand why October 7th just gets completely washed away in all their minds. All that, the horrific footage we all saw of them just mowing down people at a fucking music festival.
How can you side with that on any level? And I'm not talking about people pro-Palestine. They're calling these things pro-Palestine. It's not it's not anti-Palestine. It's anti-Hamas. Yeah. It's anti-killers. It's anti-Semitism. It's like that's what it is. That's what it boils down to, and I'm sick of it.
Use their people that live in Gaza as human shields.
Right.
Yes.
It's the worst kind of human. They're scum.
Like they don't give a shit about the people in Palestine either.
No. And when they get billions for aid in the past before all this happened, they would use it not to build their cities or build schools or hospitals. No, they build these terror tunnels. They go underneath and they buy arms and crap.
Well,
for future terror.
Yeah.
So, it's like they're building for the future.
Like when there was a land exchange, Israel had built all of these massive greenhouses that could, help sustain these communities and build crops and everything like that. And what did Hamas do? They immediately went in and destroyed them all. Fuck that. We don't want, your Israeli shit here. This is our land now. So you punished your own people.
Right. For whatever stupid, psycho, sick cause you have, it's just, they hate you. Why? That's my point. And I'm bringing it up.
Their brains are
Someone's got to explain to me, what did the Jews do to deserve this on any level ever in the history of mankind?
Oh, there's that whole killing Christ thing.
Yeah, there's that.
Well, he forgave that and all the sins of all the people.
Yeah. Well, he was Jewish.
He was. And he was a hell of a carpenter, too. Karen, Richard, and Jesus the carpenter. Oh, man. And they did a song. Speaking of songs,
thank God.
That's a segue.
Get us out of it.
That's a segue. We were bringing in Joe and Jerry as always, and they have two special guests. Louis, what do they say? Louis and Captain Carl on this. on this particular song that we're doing in the Castiglioke portion of the program. We're going to start that right now. Oh, but first.
Sorry.
But first.
A word from Sing King.
First, this message.
This one's got a lead in.
We call it an intro in the business, Joe.
It's a leader. You got to hit the post.
All right, here we go. Louis, you ready?
Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Oh, they red, white, and blue.
And when the band plays Hail to the Chief, they point the cannon at you.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no president's son. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one.
Some folks are born with silver spoon in hand, Joe. Lord, they help themselves. But when the tax man comes to the door, Lord, the house looking like a rummage sale. Oh, yeah.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no millionaire son.
It ain't me. It ain't me. Very fortunate to play for Mr. Yorkie.
Didn't know you know this song, Yaz.
This is one of my favorites.
I don't know this fucking song.
Just read the lyrics, Louis.
Yeah, some folks in Harry Star Spangled Life, or they send you down to war. And when you ask them how much should I give, they answer more.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no president's son. It ain't me. Number 8, Carl Yastrzemski, most valuable player, 1967. Hit the Triple Crown.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one.
It ain't me. It ain't me. I'm gonna shoot myself with a gun.
This song sucks, man.
Yeah, I gotta be somewhere right now. I gotta go to a Boy Scout meeting.